Good morning students, this is Charan sir. So I would like to welcome you all for second PUC's classes. Now today I would like to discuss the chapter number 4, which is Interpolation and Extrapolation in your second PUC syllabus. I hope the other track teachers might have started with vital statistics. So I would like to take up the chapter named Interpolation and Extrapolation. Guys, you remember already this interpolation and extrapolation has been taught in the first PUC itself. But first PUC, what we have learnt in interpolation and extrapolation, in the second PUC there is an extension of interpolation and extrapolation concepts. Like you have learnt in interpolation and extrapolation only the missing value of either inter or outside the range. Am I clear? Either interpolating value or extrapolating value you might have learnt. But in second PUC, you are going to learn about the two missing frequency values in a single problem at a time, isn't it? So two missing problems, one is inter and one is extrapolating. Together, how to calculate by using binomial expansion method. So in the first PUC, either inter or extrapolating value we have learned. But in the second PUC, we are going to learn when both the missing values are given, then how to calculate those two missing frequency or missing values, right, in a single problem by using binomial expansion method. That we are going to learn. Second method is the Newton's advancing difference method. This is the second method, which is very important method of calculating or estimating the missing term, right? There is a slight difference between binomial and Newton's method. So if I explain all those things, then you will be understanding clearly. So before going to start the second PUC concept, I would like to give you the glance over of all the first PUC what we have learnt. Clear guys? So let us see now. Interpolation and extrapolation. You all know that interpolation and extrapolation concept is a very important statistical concept for estimations. Remember, for estimating the missing values, this is very important and the easiest method of estimating the missing term. Am I clear? So first and foremost, I would like to give you the brief introduction about interpolation and extrapolation. Look at here now, interpolation and extrapolation. See, in this concept, capital X and capital Y, both these are, first we can say that they are interdependent variables. What we can call them as? Interdependent variables. We can call capital X and capital Y. They are interdepending to each other, X and Y. Here, the X being independent and Y being dependent here. Now, which is depending on which one? Y value must be dependent on X value. Then here only you must have understood X values are known and Y values are somewhere, one or the other value will be missing. Am I clear guys? So Y is always a dependent variable and X is always a independent variable. See here, let X0, X1 and so on up to Xn, Y0, Y1 and so on up to Yn. If you are estimating a missing value within the range between X0 to Xn, right? Because Y is dependent on X, so X values are known. X will be deciding the missing value of Y here. Remember always, X will be deciding the missing value of Y. Here, Y is a dependent on X, so X values all are known values, right? They are entries. Y values all are arguments. Remember that. So X0, X1 and so on Xn, Y0, Y1 and so on Yn, right? Now, any missing value within X0 to Xn, between Y to Yn, if you are estimating the missing value within, then we use the technique of interpolation. Interpolation means what? Estimating the unknown value of dependent variable to the known value of independent variable within the range called interpolation. Guys, do you remember the definition? Estimating the unknown value of dependent variable Y to the known value of independent variable X within the range. We call it as a interpolation. If you are estimating the same way outside the range, that we call it as a extrapolation. That is what we have learnt in PU1. Clear guys? So interpolation and extrapolation. One within the range if you estimate, that will be the interpolation. Outside the range if you estimate, that will be the extrapolation. Am I clear? So this is how these x and y are interdependent. They are interdependent to each other. X being a independent variable. Independent variable means we can say it as a known variable. Y dependent variable means here missing values you can identify. Missing term you can identify there. So that being a dependent variable. Here it is unknown. So that unknown value only we are estimating by depending on known value of x. Within the range if it is, within, in, that is interpolation. Outside, extra, so extrapolation. Are you clear guys? So that is the definition of interpolation and extrapolation. Now what are the assumptions on this? What are the assumptions of interpolation and extrapolation? See here, as you all know that the assumptions of interpolation and extrapolation, there are no sudden jumps. There are no sudden jumps in the dependent variable y from one to another. Clear? So there are no sudden jumps. That is the first assumption, limitation of interpolation and extrapolation. No sudden jumps in the dependent variable y from one variable to another variable. That is the first one. And next one is no consecutive missings. No consecutive missings. What does it mean? See here, x0 to xn, independent variable, and then dependent variable y0 to yn. So any one, either inter or extra value, right? We can estimate. In the first PC what we have learned, either interpolating value or extrapolating value we have learned. But in second PUC, inter and extra, together the two missing values we are going to identify. Whenever you are going to identify the two missings, observe that, assure that no consecutive missings, I mean back to back two missing values should not be. Remember. So no consecutive missings. The missing value, the missing values of between two, there must be a known value. Remember. So back to back two series of consecutive missings should not be. So that is condition number one, limitation number one, assumption number one. Clear? So whenever you calculate both inter as well as extrapolating value together consecutively in a series of observations, two missings should not be. So that is the condition. So no consecutive missing values in the series. Right? Next, the third one, uniformity. There must be a sort of uniformity. What does it mean, uniformity? It must be a increasing or decreasing kind of order in the dependent variable y. Right? Ups and downs should not be. Even after estimating the missing values, both inter and extra, if you observe the dependent variable, there must be a sort of uniformity in the dependent variable y. So what does it mean, uniformity? There must be a rising or there should be a falling. Ups and downs, rise and fall should not be. That is third assumption. Are you clear guys? First assumption is there should not be any sudden jump from one variable to another variable in the dependent variable y. Next, no consecutive missings. Back to back two missing values should not be appear. Right? One inter and then known value, again extra value, extrapolating value. Remember. Next, there must be a sort of uniformity in the dependent variable, either increasing or decreasing, even after estimating the unknown value. Am I clear? So if you follow these three assumptions, the interpolation concept is very simple. You will be understanding it. Are you clear guys? So no sudden jumps, no consecutive missing values, I mean back to back two missing should not be, and then there must be a sort of uniformity even after estimating the interpolating or extrapolating value. There should be a uniform manner, like all must be the order in, it should be in a increasing or it should be in a decreasing kind of order. Am I clear, guys? So these are the three assumptions of interpolation and extrapolation. First we have learned the definition, and then now the assumptions of interpolation and extrapolation. Now let us continue further. Next one is methods. Methods of estimating the interpolating and extrapolating value, right? So there are two methods. The number one, binomial expansion method. First one is binomial expansion method, which you have already learned. Second one is Newton's advancing difference method. This is the second method. First one is a binomial expansion method, which you are familiar with. You had already come across the method of binomial expansion. And the Newton's advancing difference method, this is the new one which you are going to learn. And even in the binomial expansion method, you have learned only single missing, either inter or extrapolating value. But together, two missing values you have not solved in the PU1, right? That we are going to solve in PU2. Binomial expansion method, right? So let us see the binomial expansion method. See here, before going to explain about the binomial expansion method, we need to follow some conditions. So what are the conditions to be followed? How to identify if the problem is known? I mean, if a problem is given, how to identify that it is belonging to binomial or it is belonging to Newton's method? How to identify easily? One and only identification, that in binomial expansion method, clearly in the table, in the problem, the missing values will be shown. Are you clear, guys? I am just giving you the hint how to identify the binomial expansion method in Newton's method. In Newton's method, there are some few more conditions, almost similar to binomial, but little one or two extra conditions are being applied. But in binomial expansion method, what are the conditions? How to recognize the problem is from so and so binomial expansion method, right? Clearly I am saying no, the missing value which is to be interpolated or which is to be extrapolated together, both inter and extrapolated values, those will be shown in the table itself. That is one and only identification, but in Newton's it will not. Am I clear? That is the first identification of so and so method by looking into the problem. Am I clear, guys? So the first identification is the missing values will be clearly shown. Next, usually what are the conditions of binomial expansion method? Conditions of binomial expansion method is the value of the independent variable. See here, x0, x1 and so on xn, y0, y1 and so on yn. As I said that both we are going to calculate. One is inter, one is extra. So both we are going to calculate using binomial expansion method in this academic year. I mean in PU2. Now when both are given, as I said that binomial expansion, clearly the missing values will be shown. Right? Now what is the main condition? Look at this independent variable. This is independent variable here. X is the independent variable. Now, between these values, x0 to x1, x1 to x2, x2 to x3 and so on, between these, there should be a common difference. Right? For example, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. X values, independent variables. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Look at here. There must be a common difference which is 10. So that is condition number 1. Always whenever you identify the problem, ensure that there should be a common difference in independent variable x. That is condition number 1 in binomial expansion method. So there must be a common difference between x variables. Look at this one. Example 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 10 difference each. Whatever you take it, there should be a common difference always. Right? That is condition number 1. Condition number 2. The value of x. See here, value of y is missing here. Clear? Dependent variable y. Here and here both are missing. Whenever you identify the missing values, the missing value must be a value of x. That is what the assumption we said. There should not be any sudden jump. We cannot estimate. See here, y2 is missing. Just suppose you consider y2 is missing. This y2 value missing to the value of x2 only. It shouldn't be the value of x3 or x1 like that. Am I clear, guys? So the missing value of y must be the value of x. Right? So suppose y2 is missing means it should depend on the known value x2 itself. Right? So what exactly the statement can be written here? The value of x for which the value of y to be interpolated must be one of the values of x. What is to be interpolated, this y2 must be one of the values of x. And at the same time this y2 missing must be a value of x2 in binomial expansion method. Are you clear, guys? So first here we have learned these two conditions. First condition is there should be a common difference in independent variable x. Second condition is in binomial expansion method, the missing value which is to be interpolated, that must be the value of x. Right? So these are the two conditions which are to be followed in binomial expansion method. There is one more condition in which you can write it. It can be written as an assumption as well as the condition of binomial expansion method. No consecutive missing values. That also can be written as condition of binomial expansion method. No consecutive missing terms in the dependent variable y. I hope I am clear, guys. Do you understand? The introduction part of interpolation and extrapolation, definitions of interpolation and extrapolation, and then what it is, methods of assumptions of interpolation and extrapolations, no sudden jumps in the dependent variable y from one period to another period, and then no consecutive missing values in the dependent variable y, and then there must be a sort of uniformity, either rising or falling in the dependent variable y even after estimating the missing terms. So these are the assumptions of interpolation and extrapolation. Now what are the methods? Method 1 is a binomial expansion method. Second method is a Newton's advancing difference method. So binomial expansion method, in the first PUC we have learned only to estimate either inter or extrapolating. Any one value we have learned. Identifying the missing or estimating the missing value of either interpolating or extrapolating value. But in second PUC, together we are going to learn interpolating and extrapolating value. Both the missing values we are going to solve in a single problem. Am I clear, guys? So we have seen even the conditions of binomial expansion method also. What are the conditions applied in binomial expansion method? Condition number 1 is there must be a common difference in independent variable x. Right? Next, second condition is the value which is to be interpolated in dependent variable y must be the value of independent variable x. Right? So these two conditions, if you are identifying, then that method belongs to binomial expansion method. Am I clear, guys? And there is one more condition which you can or you need not written also. You need not be written. That is, there must be no consecutive missings. As an assumption, we have mentioned as one point, but that can be taken even condition of binomial expansion method also. So no consecutive missing terms. Am I clear, guys? Now, before going to start with the problems of binomial, we need to learn, already we have learned the expansion by observing the known values, how to expand the form. Right? So by using the polynomial expression, you have the formula, like writing that formula you can expand the term by knowing the known values of n. But By using Pascal's triangle also we have learnt in the PU1 using the Pascal's triangle directly by taking the line according to n, by putting the values, entries y02 and so on yn. Easily we can expand the form depending upon number of known values. That we have learnt in PU1. The same method you can apply even in second year also. So let us see that, how to expand. See guys, you know usually the Pascal's triangle. Pascal's triangle. How to draw a Pascal's triangle? 1. This is at n equals to 0, n equals to 1, n equals to 2, n equals to 3, n is 4, n is 5, n is 6. So this is the Pascal's triangle. Clear guys? You understand? At n equals to 0, 1, you know that NC0 is nothing but 1, right? See, by using this Pascal's triangle, easily the binomial expansion form can be written. That is what we have learnt in PU1, if you remember. Clear guys? So using the binomial, using the Pascal's triangle, the binomial expansion can be written. For example, look at here, y minus 1 whole power of 5. How to expand this y minus 1 whole power of 5? First of all, 5. 5 means at n equals to 5. What is the line? 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. This is the line, right? Now, make an entries. y5, y4, y3, y2, y1, y0. This is 1. And then plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus equated to 0. So this is the binomial expansion form. Usually this binomial expansion form can be written directly by saying this Pascal's triangle, guys, right? So this is the way you need to identify the binomial expansion by using the Pascal's triangle. So in the next video, I would like to show you how to calculate problems using binomial expansion method, both inter as well as extrapolating value. Okay guys, hope you understand everything. So anyhow, during live classes in MyPal, I am going to explain elaborately, and once again you can repeat or you can utilize these videos to revise the concepts which are going to complete in MyPal classes, and those who had missed those classes also, they can revise these concepts. Am I clear? So hope you understand everything. So let us meet in the regular offline as well as online classes very soon. Online classes also today we are going to start, and then offline classes also we are anticipating in the next month it may start. So let us hope for it, right? So till then, for time being, we have to depend on all these online forms. One is either YouTube or in MyPal. So I request all the students, please join in MyPal regular class, because hardly we will be having 2 or 3 classes in a week, right? If you join, that would be better guys. Remember, right? That is the thing. The toughest chapter I have not started. The easiest one, which has been already learnt by you, this chapter is started because of that reason. Because toughest chapters, if you complete it in online, later you may feel it difficult, right? That is the reason the easiest one, which is the known one, the same chapter I have started this academic year, right? So this academic year, the chapters how we are going to teach, both me and PJ sir, will let you know very soon, right? So hope you are following all the classes regularly. Please do attend even statistics classes also, which are going to start from today onwards. Clear guys? So have a nice day. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.